Yep, I'm intimidated. Because until we reach a point to where women are choosing to follow the men, women are choosing to submit and follow the men they are choosing. Because this whole notion of conditional femininity and once you earn such and so forth, see, that's individual partner mindset women.
Hey, good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, King Nigel of Alpha Male Diaries. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me on my podcast platforms. It really means a lot. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have I have a nice topic I'd like to discuss with you guys. You know, it comes to a point in time where, first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Kevin Samuels. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Samuels, and I agree with a lot of his the knowledge that he has and the information that he brings forth to women as well as men, because it's very important. I like to utilize, having these type of conversations in regards to my podcast and my YouTube channel to try to reach out to the ones that are willing to listen. Because there comes a point in time whereas as we're growing into this whole adult phase, or we're starting to make changes in our lives, we're starting to make progress, and sometimes you're going to have the support that you need, and sometimes you're not. And 9 times out of 10, the people that will support you are the people who don't know you. Sometimes, a lot of us deal with the situations whereas we have more strangers that support us than friends. Then a lot of people wonder why people switch up. It's not the fact that they switched up. It's just the simple fact that they utilize common sense and they realize that you wasn't their friend to begin with in the first place.
40 though, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, age 40 is where the game changes. Shout out to Game Changer. At age 40, you have put in your 20 years. You have done the work of getting your body right. You've done the work of networking, failing, trying better, failing again, and now you've gone into the second phase of life. You should have been promoted 2 or 3, at least 3 times by 40. By 40, you should have been promoted at least 3 times. And sometimes you may have to move companies to move up. You should have moved up at least 3 times. This is when you should be at the director phase of life, the regional manager, vice president. You are ready to win. This is the phase of life to where you take no prisoners. And this is the phase of life where guys got to become more and more aware, because this is the phase of life where
I'm a PhD.
Lose. They can no longer ride on the fact that black don't crack and they still look like they're hot enough to get in the club. I know so many women who are 35 plus who, when you look at their bodies, they are beautiful, but you touch them and they're soft. They work out, but it's not firm, it's not tight like it used to be. Because gravity and time is the same on all of us. And why is this important? Because you need to understand at age 40, your mindset needs to remember at age 20 how you had to eat shit. Because so many women will be coming along your way who had nothing for you back in the day when you were
Beta.
Yeah, back in the day when they had nothing for you and they hitting you with the hey big head. And you're like, don't diss them. Don't be mean to them. Hell, talk to them, pick their brain, work with them if possible. And if you won't, dust a few of them off. But by no means do you get involved with them. Shout out to Minister Jap. He has a phrase that I'm going to take. He says, you're too old to mold. There used to be a brother running around the manosphere, on the manosphere street talking about he doesn't deal with women over 25. I think that's a bit young. But the general sentiment is if you are a woman and you are cute, pretty, beautiful, and or gorgeous, that's 6, 8, 9, and or 10, and you have never been married, there's something wrong with her.
Learning how to utilize your decision-making process to not only deal with those who's going to bring some type of benefit into your life, but deal with those who are willing to invest in you, as you are willing to invest in them, because time is of the essence. And time, you can't get that back. And that's one of the most valuable things that we have in life that we may take for granted and take advantage of is time. And we all know time waits for no one. But at the end of the day, what are you doing with this time throughout your life? Are you building yourself up to be the person that you want to be? Are you getting the outcomes and results out of life that you had intended to get? And if you haven't, what are you doing about that? Ladies and gentlemen, because nowadays we come across people who feel as if, they don't need anybody. They don't have to work with someone. They don't have to do anything for someone. It's always about what they can get without doing little to no effort, right? So you run across these people who are apparently, the ones who don't have anything to offer you, but yet they want you to give them the world. Why is that? Well, because people are taught to be entitled. People are taught and raised to grow up to believe that they can have it all.
Ladies, it's time for you to start understanding that relationships are what makes you a successful life. You're either it's either you first or relationships first. You cannot serve two masters. If it's my truth, my life, my field, my this, my that, cool, over there. Go over there. Can you work with women like that? Sure. Can you network with women like that? Sure. Can you socialize with women like that? Sure. But you cannot get romantic with them. Absolutely not. Just ladies, a lot of you think you're special because you got your PhD, you got this career or whatever, and men are starting to find that more distasteful than a lot of you know.
That everything that they want in life, they can just have it, just snap the fingers, and boom, it's there, without putting in the work. And a lot of people are misled with this mindset. So what happens? They venture out into this world with all these expectations, unrealistic standards. And that's why a lot of people are single till this day, because their standards are unrealistic. And once you become this person that realizes that the things that you thought that life would bring forth to you if you didn't put in the effort, those things, you're not going to get those things. So people become mad, angry, bitter, filled with resentment, animosity, even jealous, even envious. And it's sad. And these people walk around with all this, they call it energy, these vibes or whatever, but they walk around with this toxic behavior, this toxic thinking, this dysfunctional lifestyle. To whereas, when you come across certain things, especially if it's one of those scenarios where the truth hurts, people don't want to accept this. So they want to get mad and they want to try to bash you, shame you, shoot you down, and have you feeling guilty for telling them the truth. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. So where does the things that Kevin Samuel says comes into play? It comes into play such as this. A lot of men, we have these conversations with each other, but a lot of men can't bring, certain type of conversations into their own household. Why? Because it's going to be a form of some type of confrontation. Then again, it may be a form of understanding and things can get better and move on from there. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. Because now you develop this habit. If this is how you're going to live, this is the life that you chose, especially in regards to being with someone. And why is this important? Because a lot of people, when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriages, they are only taught to get, what they can get out of someone, what someone has to offer them. They're not, thinking about, are they bringing value or substance to someone else, to someone else's life, or are they even capable of doing so? We're dealing with a generation of women today, whereas they put their jobs, careers, and children first. If you're one of those dudes who decide to date a single mother, you know, uh, a lot of men don't understand their value. They don't know their worth as men. And I would say this primarily to say that, fellas, you have to understand, as a black man, you are the most desired man on this planet by women of other races other than their own race. A black man comes first. A lot of black men have options. Sometimes they just don't have the financial resources, to utilize those options. But the desire for these men, for black men, it's there. It's all how you utilize it. Where you put yourself at, what you stand for, what are your boundary standards, stuff like that. What are you looking for within a wife? What do you want out of a marriage? And what are you going to do to put yourself in a position so you could be that guy, so you can have the pick of the litter? You know what I mean? Because respect goes a long way. But if your pocket's not right, then the respect isn't going to be right.
I go down Instagram and I see so many women who are suited and booted and look, and I'm like, you do realize that you're taking these pictures so other women can tell you look good. Because men aren't looking at this and seeing wives. Men are looking at this and seeing, what a waste.
You have a lot of women running around here figuring that men are intimidated just solely because they're independent. And that's not the case. What a lot of men have experienced is that a lot of women feel as if by getting their degrees or starting a business and having money and having their own this and their own that, and they're doing things for them as an individual, not even building their life or incorporating a man, within their plans at all. Until it's too late. Let's say around 35, 36. Typically, that's when these women start to say, okay, now I'm ready to settle down after they had their fun.
And here's the thing, gentlemen, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. When women start asking, well, why this or why that? Well, they're intimidated.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me, I'ma just...
Don't even have those conversations anymore. You hate your mama. You intimidated by women. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm intimidated by all this success.
After they accumulated student loan debt, after they realize, hey, I'm 36, 37. She may have kids, she may not. Or she may be a single mother with kids, And I had a conversation, with quite a few people. What is the difference between a provider male having children versus a single mom that's looking for a provider male? And I would say this, as I said many times before, provider males don't look for stepmothers. They don't look for women primarily to raise their kids, whereas a single mother does, regardless of what you say. Because if that's not the case, then why do her and her kids have to be accepted as a package deal? If she's not looking for you to take care of her kids, she may say, listen, I got my kids or whatever, we could do what we do, we get together, whatever, you don't have to take care of my kids. That's not true. Because if you're looking at this from a parent's perspective, and you're looking at the best interest of the child, there's no way something like that is going to take place. First and foremost, you have this man around your children and your own personal space. But you have some men, they're not even trying to even go that route. Because they built themselves up to be the man that they are. To be desired by women. Not to say that's the primary goal, but that's what happens along the line. They become these men that's sought after by these women. And these men are very valuable. They're financially successful. And that includes their high value. Sometimes they're very high value. You know what I mean? And 90% of women want these 10% of higher earning men, regardless to what they say. You know, it's very hard to get with a woman. She says, I'm independent, I have a degree. You know, I got my own thing going on. I'm a boss chick. But yet she wants a man that's like this, like that. But then again, you know, she has conditional and selective femininity. You know, where does a woman true value lies in her eyes when it comes to a man? Do women understand what value is that a man is looking for?
Yep, I'm intimidated. Because until we reach a point to where women are choosing to follow the men, women are choosing to submit and follow the men they are choosing. Because this whole notion of conditional femininity and once you earn such and so forth, see, that's individual partner mindset women. All the things that you don't want, women who want you to earn their femininity, earn their submission, that's that individual partner woman.
How a woman says, well, okay, listen, he's not a man unless he's making this, he's making that. It's okay for a woman to have standards. But what about men? Why can't men have standards? Or why shouldn't men have standards? Or is men having standards, is it wrong? And if so, why is this thinking, you know, why is this accepted? Why should this even be acceptable? That a man shouldn't have standards. Oh, if you're a man, he'll do this and he'll do that. You know, that's based on your own individual needs, wants, and or desires. And that's the problem. A lot of modern women want alpha males. They want provider males, but you've been raised and taught not to need a man, but you want a man to lead, protect, and provide, but you're not submissive, you're not cooperative, you're not feminine. I mean, you're not friendly at all. You lack compassion for a black man. You don't have no sympathy towards a black man. Your whole life you've been saying, hey, F a nigga this, I don't need a man this, I don't need a man that. So why should a man even come into your life with that type of mindset that's been set like that for 36 years? Why should a man suffer a woman's past or what she's been taught growing up into an adult to even try to change her mind or even try to say, hey, you know, I'm this guy, I'm different, I'm you know, this is what I got to give you, and you know, this, that, and the third. We're not going to do that because it's not necessary. You think about it. Women outnumber men. You understand me? And even if you go to places like, let's say Dallas or Texas, or let's just use Miami. Miami, the women ratio for one man is 17 women. So these women saying, oh, I'm valuable this, or I'm a good woman that. Well, that one man got 17 other women that's possibly saying the same thing. And the question is, who's going to win?
Modern women and women in high demand. And for those who have short attention spans or short memories, let me go ahead and put it back up there because, you know, your godfather's good for the visual aids. A high demand woman is a woman that has the right mindset. She's agreeable, she's cooperative, and she is smart. She's also a woman who is fit inside and out. That means she's dedicated, disciplined, and discerning. She's also a woman who is the epitome of feminine. And in that means she's affectionate, accommodating with a subtle sophistication. And lastly, they're in no particular order, she's naturally nurturing. So that means she is carefree, loving, easygoing, and a lightheartedness about her. This is what we always talk about. There's no such thing as conditional femininity. You don't turn being a high demand woman on or off. And yes, a high demand woman, she looks good because she is good. Yeah.
4 black women were married throughout the course of their lifetime, at least once, if they're lucky. So with this whole notion, because you have a PhD, you're independent, it's not the fact that a man is that he's insecure, that he's intimidated. The simple fact is we're not willing, men, and I will speak for all men, that's not willing to deal with the mindset, the attitude, the disrespect. A woman like that will easily walk away before she invests her time, energy, effort, financial resources, and attention towards a marriage and a relationship. Number one, she's too tired working for someone else, first of all. Number two, she have her own business and she have her children. If a man cannot come first in a woman's life, then he shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? I mean, they create this whole title so they can fit somewhere. and be somebody, which is fine. But at the end of the day, are you still getting the outcomes and results that you want out of a relationship, or even a man asking you to be his wife? If that's not working for you, then I don't know what else to tell you. But ladies and gentlemen, I got some stuff, man, that's going to be coming up real soon. I think you guys might like it. But I really, really, really want you guys to understand these things, because it's a lot of this transpiring, as we know, and it's getting out of hand to the point to where men don't even want to date. They think about a woman, taking a woman out, and that woman knows she's not interested in this guy. She's not even, going to sleep with him or anything. She knows what she's going to do, but he don't. He's still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? I hope that you enjoyed the show. Some of you might like what I say. Then again, some of you don't. But I don't give a fuck. And this is your host, King Nigel of Alpha Male Diaries. And that man.